Greetings. It's so wonderful to have this opportunity to speak to you. Corne Bakker, serving as the Dean for the School of Divinity. What an exciting time it is to be part of this school, preparing thousands of people to go forth in ministry. Jesus made this statement. He says the harvest is great and that we need to pray that the Lord of harvest will indeed send laborers. Folks, this is our heart, this is our desire to indeed train laborers that will go forth. Well, at this point in time, I want to just stop for a moment and maybe just reflect on one of the things that Jesus told us indeed to consider. Mark's gospel tells us that at one point some scribes, some Pharisees came to Jesus and asked this question: what is the most important thing? Folks, I don't know about you, but often I'm overwhelmed with books. I'm overwhelmed with duties and things that we need to do. And sometimes that question, what is the most important thing, is primary. Jesus, of course, answered by quoting a beautiful section from the Torah, from the book of Deuteronomy. And he said that the most important thing is to love the Lord your God. And then he added another text from the book of Leviticus, and that we need to love our neighbor, that we need to love one another as we love indeed ourselves. But the question, of course, is where does that love come from? Do we just start to love? Is it just something that flows naturally? Of course, what Jesus was quoting was part of an ancient Jewish prayer, sometimes called the Shema. Folks, and you will know that that word Shema means to listen, to hear. And folks, that's indeed where it starts. Prayer doesn't start by doing. Ministry doesn't start by doing either. It starts by stopping and listening. This is what the prayer says. Hear, O Israel. The Lord your God is indeed one. He's perfect. He cannot be matched. He's awesome. And therefore, once you know this, once you've heard, you can love. Well, folks, study is a little bit like listening, isn't it? It is a time period where we stop and we listen to what others have said, the wisdom of Scripture, the power of the testimony, the witness of the church. I want to encourage you, use this time period while you're in the school to listen, to just stop. And may this be a time that God will speak deeply to you. There will come a time to speak. There will come a time to do. But indeed, often that time of study is just to stop and to listen. May the Lord help us to indeed do all of that. Folks, I do want to remind you that we have a Divinity School Chapel coming up. And it's my deepest desire that our school will become a place of deep prayer, a place of reflection, a place where we will stop and listen and hear what God indeed has said. You know, the psalm says, be still and know that I'm God. How do you know that God is indeed God? Well, you have to shut up. You have to be quiet. You have to stop. You have to listen. So, folks, I want to remind you this Thursday, actually, I believe it's next Thursday, September the 14th at 11 o'clock, we will have a chapel meeting. Come together. And if you cannot join us in person, we will make sure that you can join online. God bless you. Love you very much. And always know that you are close to our thoughts, our hearts, and indeed our prayers. God bless you richly.